go take a dump real quick.
Well, the show goes on, man.
I
The
heard
show.
that.
The show
Made
must
it.
go on.
I was
Um,
not. I was picking something from the fridge. Jesus.
so so the funny thing is that like the I had my it said that my save data was corrupted.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't even remember saving this thing to the cloud, man. I don't remember doing that, but that's how
It doesn't
apparently
it do that automatically?
I guess it does. But anyway, that I got saved, I guess. But man, dude, that's so weird, man. Like this is probably like even with Returnal, man. I had no issues with that game. Like it didn't crash on me once. Demon Souls, Spider-Man, but weirdly enough, this has been the one that I probably expected to be the most like safe to play, like the one that wouldn't give me any issues was this game,
Yeah.
and surprisingly it's giving me the most issues. That's just so weird, man.
I think it really is a hardware issue at this point.
Maybe, man. Which is weird because I haven't had many issues with the PS5.
Yeah, me neither. Really. I mean that was the one time where like it was so funny. Like when you're doing that first rift, and for the I mean like the beginning of the game, and, you say you landed like in a bed of white snow or like a whole nother planet that you didn't expect to go in. For me, it was just Ratchet just kept falling. So, so he had the fall animation. He just kept falling to space. I'm like, oh, I guess this is part of the game, and then he just kept falling
Jesus.
for like a full minute. And I was like, all right, this is definitely not the right thing.
Y'all have some defective ass
Man, I
games.
I guess so, man.
All right.
Okay, let's jump back into the podcast, man.
Let's do it.
Guys, technical difficulties, but we're back on track, man. So a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess not too much, but we're still like a decent amount of stuff happened to make a podcast over. Let me say it like that. Um, so let's talk about some of these things that happened. First of all, actually, it's time for our weekly Blue Box Kojima update, guys. You guys ready for that?
Put them
Oh,
tinfoil hats.
yes, sir. No, this situation just gets weirder and weirder, man. So this week, Hassan Kahraman, took to Twitter. I don't think we even talked about this last week, but he came out and posted a video on Twitter proving that, hey guys, I'm a real person. I'm a real developer. I exist. I'm not Hideo Kojima. Which, and then the outsourcing studio or support team or whatever, one of those developers, I think the founder of that company came out and he did the very same thing. He's like, hey, I'm a real person. We've worked on real games before. Like, first of all, like, I don't think I've ever seen anything more strange than this situation with Blue Box and Abandon and whatnot. Like, this is really weird, right?
It's unprecedented, really.
Yeah.
It's so odd. And and the first one, he legit came out like he was depressed. Like he looked
I felt
defeated.
bad for him.
I did too, and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, I wondered, like, at this point, like, really, I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive to like how serious people are actually taking it. Because to me, it's just a big joke.
Yeah,
Like, honestly,
that's how I've been taking it too.
yeah. So I don't know who's really taking it seriously to the point where they'll get upset. I just don't know.
Especially because like I feel like people are blaming this on him, and I'm like, guys, they have denied their affiliation with Kojima and Silent Hill twice already. So like
Damn.
they've done what they needed to do. They said they've
Yeah.
already told people this is not what you guys think it is, and people are still running with it.
No. You know
Yeah,
who's still running with it? You want to know? Like
very
some
true.
some very 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 unoccupied people. They have nothing else to do. Seems like.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's overall I think it's still just how funny people are taking it, but I don't know. I thought it was very very funny just for it to come out on camera twice. Once to say that hey, I'm a real person, another to like delay the app that they had planned.
Yeah,
It was supposed
that's
to come out yesterday or something like that,
yeah,
right?
that's what we're about to get into too. That they delayed their app that was supposed to come on, I think originally like on the 22nd or something like that, and then it got pushed back to the 25th, and now it got pushed back to August. So like,
Sure.
and then there was another thing that I wanted to I wanted to tell you guys about that on Twitter. God, what was it? They were talking to, like, that's one thing that I will give them credit for, is that they have been like talking with people on Twitter and whatnot. And someone asked point blank, "Hey, is Abandon coming to PC?" And they straight up said, "Eventually." And I'm like, are you like even allowed to, like, what is going? Are you even allowed to say that, right? Because this has been like marketed as a PS5 exclusive. And normally, as these things kind of go, it's like, okay, it comes out on PS5, and then, a year or 6 months and some change later, it'll come to PC. But like, we don't know about that until like well after the PS5 version or the PlayStation 4 version comes out, right? So like,
Or if PlayStation leaks it in a trailer.
right. And so I'm just like, I'm pretty sure you guys aren't supposed to, like, come out and say that, right? Like, have these guys
I
never
know.
released a game before? Like, I feel like this is just like 101, like game releasing like 101. Like, what is going on, man? This is so weird.
Yeah, no, it's super odd, man. Like it's like I said, it's unprecedented as far as like the kind of like the merry-go-round we're actually experiencing right now with this game, and it's like it's potential release and then it's potential reveal, and what these connections actually mean, and are they really just coincidences? It's nuts, man. It really is. I just hope that the game is actually good.
Yeah,
Like, I don't care if it's Silent Hill. I don't care if it's like tied to any franchise or any creator. I just want it to be good. Because
that's
at
Yeah.
this point, it's like I don't know.
that's the
Yeah, and
big
I don't care
thing.
if it's an exclusive or not. Like, honestly, like, I hear so much. I hear people, not hear, I read about people on Twitter, and I see them, talk smack about how, eventually PS5, they're gonna have a lot of the exclusives are not gonna have only on PlayStation. They're gonna be on PC as well. It's like, yeah, I mean, are you bragging? Is that like, what's going on? Like, is that a bad thing? Good? No, good. Okay, PC. Like, it's like people have an Xbox. Yeah, I mean, it's better if you have a PC. But like, people have Xboxes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't hear people just, I don't know, clowns. Fucking, I don't get it. Twitter's confusing, guys. I'm mad.
Man,
Yeah.
it's like, could you imagine if Guerrilla Games back in 2017, they were like, getting ready to release Horizon Zero Dawn, and someone asked them point blank, like, "Hey, can we expect this game on like Xbox?" And Guerrilla Games was like, down the road, yeah."
Yeah, sure.
Like, I just can't get over that, man. It's just so weird, man. I've never seen anything like that before. Like even teams that do get asked those questions, they'll shut it down like immediately, because like they want to like put all the focus on the primary platform that's coming out on. Even if the game is planning to come out on other consoles, then like they'll probably like lie and just say like, no, like we're focused only on PlayStation or whatever it may be. Like even Final Fantasy, right? Like, haven't they been pretty upfront that like, hey, this is just a PlayStation 4 exclusive or whatnot, and now we're starting to, even though we know that it's like a timed exclusive, right?
Yeah, essentially the intermission they even had in the trailer, like it's like exclusive to PS5 for like 6 months or whatever. So that's
Yeah,
pretty blatant.
yeah. So like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just still can't get
But do
over
you
that.
think? But do you think they should? Do you think it's better if they lied and said, "No, we're focusing on this," or do you think they should go? Yeah, maybe eventually, yeah, yeah, for
I
sure.
think they should do whatever their contract tells them to do.
And probably not talk about it, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. That's I mean, you said before, so you're wondering like, I wonder how PlayStation, like, what did they have to say about
Oh,
all
they're
this?
they're never working with these guys again. Point blank. They're never working with these guys again. This has
I
been
just wonder what Kojima's thinking. He's probably
he's watching his movies, man. He's chilling. He's not worried
Kojima,
about these.
yeah, sipping a bit of water. He's just chilling, watching his very, very bizarre.
He's watching the 15th season of The Simpsons and just like laughing, looking
Yeah,
at his
man.
phone.
But this has been honestly, I think PlayStation's thinking that this has been a clusterfuck of like gigantic proportions, man. Like this is crazy, man.
Can you
But
imagine
what
if
if?
they're so petty, be like, "This is why we don't work with indies." Like, that would be horrible.
God.
That would be so bad.
Yeah.
No, but maybe that's why
shout out
it's
to the
titled.
developers though.
Maybe that's why it's called Abandoned. PlayStation just did.
That's the other conspiracy theory now. Walt got
Yeah,
his
man.
extra tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Got Twilight Zone on right now.
But yeah, man. That I just we had to. We'll definitely keep you guys posted for whatever happens next
Yeah.
in this saga. Um. But okay. So let's talk about You know what? Let's talk about Insomniac, man. So Macho, they've been holding down the PS5 so far, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You might as well call it the Insomniac machine, not a PlayStation 5.
Hey, for real, man. So we know that they came out with Miles at launch, and then just a couple months after, they released Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But they seem to be hiring already for the next project, and through Twitter, we saw that they are hiring for a multiplayer project. So like I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion on, I guess not only that, like what you guys could possibly think that is. Like, do you guys think it's Resistance? Is this tied to like an IP we already know about, or is it something entirely different?
At least what I would like to see is a free-to-play Resistance game. Free-to-play multiplayer Resistance game.
Okay.
I think that's something completely different for them. At least as far as like the kind of game where it's like a free-to-play multiplayer game. It could be like a nice competition against Halo, because Halo's a beloved first-person shooter franchise, and Resistance is something people have been wanting for a long time, at least to come back. And I think one of the best ways to do that is through multiplayer. Even if it's something like Battlefield 2042, or is it 2049 that's coming out? That's multiplayer only.
42.
42, yeah. So I think it'd be cool for them. Whether it's something they're actually looking into, or it's actually, I don't know. I think it's more possible to have a Resistance multiplayer than a Spider-Man co-op game or Sunset Overdrive co-op game that's multiplayer focused.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the most viable thing I can see happening unless they do a completely different IP that happens to be multiplayer. Um, or listen to me, Ratchet and Clank Battle Royale. Am I right, guys? Come
I mean,
on.
they've done some weird things with Ratchet and multiplayer in the past, so
Yeah.
if they ever wanted to, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Or maybe all those Easter eggs where they're like, oh, Sly, oh, Jack and Daxter. Or maybe they're like, hey, guys, we actually are making those even if we don't have, even if we can't. We're actually making a Sly game and it's gonna be multiplayer. Can you imagine?
God, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Um,
No, but Resistance, man. I've never played properly. The only Resistance game I ever played was on PSP. That was the only time I ever played Resistance game, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I never played anything else, any other Resistance. I hear it's a beloved franchise by many, but I don't really have strong feelings on it. So whatever they do, I'll probably play it because so far they're just giving me bangers. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I guess this kind of ties into my next question is that like I've been seeing a lot of like concern on forums at least of like seemingly PlayStation, wanting to do more multiplayer titles. So like obviously we know the partnerships with Deviation and Firewalk, and then we know that Naughty Dog is making the standalone multiplayer title. We'll get into Guerrilla Games a little bit later because we got a little bit of insight into their second project that they're doing with their second team. And now Insomniac we know is doing a multiplayer project. So like, is this a concern for you guys that that they are doing more multiplayer stuff? Because I've definitely seen that sentiment with people that like they're like kind of like, I don't want to say mad, but just concerned that like, because we know Sony that they are, they're the single player kings, right? That's what they specialize in, and I guess people are scared that they're moving away from that for some reason. Like, do you guys hold that similar concern?
No, people
Uh,
like to see it really like black and white. Like
Yeah,
if you're giving more attention to one, then you're taking away from the other, which is not necessarily true all the time. I can see why they'll be concerned, but still, I feel like the Herman Hulst have made it very clear that they're engaging in single player narratives, and they're going to keep sticking to that um, kind of like a mo, and then but engaging in other stuff too, which I think is fine as well. I mean, whether I'll engage with those multiplayers is like a whole other story. It really depends, but if there's something there and I'm interested, then why not try it out? You know.
hmm
I'm not
Yeah,
against multiplayer games, but I'm not like gonna. This guy just smacked the other guy in the face.
yeah. I get the a lot of the because I get the sentiment coming from a lot of people that just play multiplayer games and maybe they have experienced more disappointments. Myself, I try to only play multiplayer games that I will enjoy, and that's been the case for the last 10 years. I haven't played a multiplayer game where I've hated because I try to stay away from those. Um, or sometimes it just happens that the ones that I do dislike, I don't that I would dislike if I bought them, I don't dislike because I was just gifted it to me. Um, like maybe 5 years ago, I got gifted like a Call of Duty I never would have played, and fine, whatever. And I get it, like it's oversaturated. I get people get scared because they hear multiplayer and they may be affiliated with live service. I would many times if I hear multiplayer because that's more of the approach that people are doing right now. But I don't know. I like it. I like it when it's things like when Ubisoft like they just went transparent when and said we're only doing free to play. We're gonna focus. Well, not only we're focusing on free to play and like high quality games. Like okay, yeah, say it. Like say what you're gonna do. Don't make us wait for like the next AAA, thinking that you're actually gonna probably invest more manpower on that. Um, but I don't know. Multiplayer, I'm open to suggestions to anything. I haven't played one in a while, and honestly, I might just because you mentioned it, Soul. That the only one I will be playing probably in the next few months will be Chivalry, and just try that out. But I don't. I dropped out of Destiny. Destruction All Stars. I gave it a shot. I played it what I played, and now I forgot. Um, I actually welcome a multiplayer game. Like I'm interested in that. What was it? Fire, the company Fire something that they're working with Sony on a new IP multiplayer game, right? Um, I'm excited, man. Uh, give me all the games. Give me all
yeah.
the
I think
ideas.
I think Macho kind of hit the nail on the head. That it's like, it's not one thing or another. Like, it can be this and that, right? Like, it can be additive. So
hmm
like, we
Why
can
not
have.
both?
Yeah, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be one thing or another. Like, we can have. I
Yeah,
think this is, we're only getting more content. You know what I mean? So like, why are we
que no los
complaining
dos.
if we can expect the same sort of quality with PlayStation single player titles on top of a decently good multiplayer sort of mode or just like segment on top of that? Like, how can we say no, right? Like,
I mean, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, people will say no regardless because people like to be mad and just no, but then
But
they'll
the thing
buy
is,
it.
like the potential for like something really cool is there. And I think we're seeing that. We've seen that for like a long time with Fortnite and all that stuff. Where it's like how great these communities can be and how expansive they can be and everything. But I think we're starting to like hit like a real renaissance of that now this generation with Battlefield looking awesome. Like I don't even play first person shooters or even like multiplayer games that much, but that's something I wouldn't mind trying out because it looks really cool. And the same thing at Halo Infinite. Like the what they showed during E3 looked awesome, and I'm
Oh yeah,
kind of down to
fantastic.
play that. So I would
Oh
love to
yeah.
see PlayStation kind of go that route too, and like have either in their own IP or something completely new, but also at the same time do what they do best and tell a really enriching story or have characters I'm going to connect to,
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
Overwatch, actually. You know?
Yes. Yes. And Overwatch 2 is on the way, which is supposed to focus a bit more on story, and it'll have a like a PvE kind of thing with more story focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have both. Yeah, and the thing is, you can have both, and sometimes it'll only be multiplayer, but you'll still have both because sometimes you just do have a good multiplayer game with a good story, and it doesn't have to be single player. Like I don't, I get it when sometimes people just do not want to socialize at all, uh, but sometimes I just say go for it. Like,
That's why
why not?
14 is
Oh,
amazing. You can socialize all you want, but at the same time, you just be like, nah, I want to play single player. And you just do that.
exactly. There you go. Which is it? Is it available, Nacho? Is it? Is there a
Oh,
trial or
yeah.
something that
Oh,
I can
yeah,
try?
yeah, yeah. I got special messages about that at the end of the podcast. So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Great, dude. Do I have to listen to that?
Oh, absolutely. Until you actually get on, yeah. Until you get on, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Oh man. I might have to I might have
Cut the
to
stream right
yeah, yeah. I
there.
might have to cash in a rain check, man. Mahmood, I'm right there with
Yes,
you, man.
man.
I haven't tried Overwatch either. So don't worry about that.
It's. I don't think it's the best time to jump in on it. I would wait for two because
No, yeah,
honestly,
it's not,
Overwatch
yeah.
just went downhill at a point, and right now, unless you were in it from the beginning, it'll be hard to get into it. I think.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you had to be there for at least season one or two and then go from there. Other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
now it's kind of just like all over the place.
Yeah.
It's still like a solid game, but like as far as like the direction and what they're doing and like there's too much change in Overwatch 2
Yeah,
to get into Overwatch 1 right now.
There's changes every few weeks, different buffs and debuffs and balances, and it's all over the place. The meta is always changing, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Great characters though,
Um
great characters.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
so let's talk about. I guess this kind of relates to Haven Studio, man. They've been slowly at work. They got themselves a logo now, so we can scratch that off the bingo list. And then on top of that, we got some look into like their job listings, so we kind of have like not like a complete idea of the game that they're making, but like we might have ourselves like some details possibly. So on LinkedIn, there's like several references to multiplayer. So, for example, the company is looking for a senior software engineer who has significant experience in networking, multiplayer, and live games. So, quote unquote, the on their website it says that we are currently hard at work on our first project, an original exclusive IP for Sony. The online software engineer will be acting in the full stack composing our game, from developing and maintaining game features to instrumenting, operating, providing debugging tools and frameworks for all parts of our distributed solution. There's also some mentioning of like experience with Rust and Go. So like personally, man, this like
What does that
it
exactly mean?
a Rust.
Yeah.
That's a big sort of like almost like kind of like a Fallout 76 kind of like multiplayer.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
only
survival.
yeah.
It's.
Go
I
ahead.
always compare it to like kind of like the survival mechanisms like Ark or the Forest, where but with the Fallout kind of coding, where it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and you can play with other players, and you find them in the world, and like a kind of like 7 Days to Die as well. Um, I've never
Okay.
played it, but holy hell, is it popular on Twitch?
Yeah.
It's
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so like this doesn't like 100% mean that okay they're making the next or that they want to make like a Rust sort of style game, but um I don't know. I think it's interesting to see that they are like looking into that, and maybe that their game will implement sort of like those sort of like gameplay elements. So I guess what I was trying to get at was that like man, like a project with Jade Raymond tied to it, like it brings about like certain like uh preconceptions or whatever, or perceptions or whatever. So like my mind immediately goes to action adventure third person whenever I hear Jade Raymond's name. So like
Right.
seeing that, like, again, we don't know fully what this game is going to be, but seemingly that it might have some online components to it is definitely surprising to me. So yeah, I just kind of want to get your guys' opinion on yeah, what do you guys think about this? Is this a surprise to you or what?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit as far as like a multiplayer focused game. I don't know if they mentioned it before in their blog, but
I don't think they did.
did they?
I don't think they did.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It's just a complete surprise to me. I was
Yeah.
fully expecting like a single player adventure, especially from they said from Raymond's history.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm interested. I want to see what what they where they can take that. I really want to know what genre they're messing with though.
Yeah, me too.
You know, whether it's open world first person shooter, whether it's open world third person, like I really want to know what they're going for.
Yeah.
For me, the surprise, yeah, same with Macho. The surprise was at the kind of game, multiplayer focused. Now, you mentioned Rust, and in my mind, I'm like, that makes perfect sense because a lot of the more recent like hits have been survival, apocalyptic, Minecraft-esque games. Rust. You have DayZ. But I mean, Minecraft is still a thing. Those kinds of games. Ark, what was the new one called? Genesis or something? Ark 2 or whatever.
Oh, the one
It's
the
a, it's
one
a
with Vin Diesel.
yeah, the one with Vin Diesel.
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, you got all these like hit survival games. There's one Grounded, I think it was, one where it's like huge bugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it makes sense. It makes a complete sense, but same. There's not enough. I mean, it makes sense that there's not enough information, but it's really intriguing, like speculating about what kind of like genre they will be tackling, or like what's the scope of this game? Like, how big is it gonna be? Is it gonna be uh, live service? Is it gonna be a one-hit wonder? Is it gonna be just a complete and utter mess of a game? We don't know. Like, I mean, I'm
I'll be kind of
excited. Jake,
honest. If it's survival, I'm gonna be kind of let down.
Yeah, me
Honestly.
too.
really?
Yeah.
I don't.
But
Yeah, I'm
it,
not big on survival. The only one I really like got into was Don't Starve.
no, that hit different.
And
I was gonna
also
say like
that's like
what?
that's not what I come to Jade Raymond for, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like I don't know. Like I feel like, I mean, obviously she could still convince me, right? Like if it turns out to be really good, then like, no complaints there, but like I said, there's a certain sort of like expectation whenever you hear her working on a game, and yeah, I don't know. It would just be
what do you
weird.
guys want?
Just the third person action adventure. That's what
That's all
she's
y'all want. But would y'all want like something familiar or something like that you don't even like think about right now? You can't even think about it.
No, yeah, I mean, like as far I can't even say what I want because I don't know what I want.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
And that's kind of like that's why I love being on the receiving end of these announcements because I have no
Yeah.
idea
Pause.
what they can. Oh,
oh man.
Come on. Don't start, Macho.
you
Kind of
caught
sauce
me.
right
You
now.
got me.
Kind
You
of
got
sauce
me.
right.
It's just like Heisenberg. You got me. Um, no, I just like actually hearing like I like getting excited about these things.
Oh yeah.
Um, so for it's like why I would never want to work on a Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy game, despite me absolutely loving those franchises and want to be a part of them. I will never want to actually work on them because I love being surprised by them.
Ah.
It's the same thing with this. When there's a creative person at the helm of a new project and the sky is the limit for them, I want to go in with no expectations. I want to see what they bring to the table.
Yeah. Feel
Yeah.
that. Hell yeah.
And
I
then
love
and
this
then
positive
like
energy.
she also hired Corey May, who is like legendary for his work on like the OG Assassin's Creed games. Like it was him, and then Jade Raymond and Patrice Desolé, who are like the parent, like basically the founders of Assassin's Creed. And Corey May he wrote the stories for I think AC1, 2, Brotherhood, and then 3. And he's at Haven Studios now. Like he's working on whatever this game is. So like, also that's also like another reason why I'm not fully convinced. Like, yeah, this game will have some sort of online component to it, but it's not going to be strictly like a Rust game or just like a survival arc kind of game. Because if you tap someone like that to work on your game, then I'm expecting that, like, oh, okay, yeah, this is definitely going to be I don't want to say like story focused, but story is definitely going to be like a big part of that game.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of like the ticket for some of these PlayStation's exclusives going forward, is what Herman Hulst also touched on, is blending the genre of multiplayer with story,
Yeah,
which we've seen time and time and again for the past couple of years. I think one of the best examples of that have been Overwatch and especially Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah.
So it's not impossible.
oh, okay, yeah. I didn't even really think about that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess just to wrap up this conversation, it's really all about like variety, right? Like even Sean Layden talked about, before he left, wanting to have more of a focus on multiplayer because that was definitely something that they lacked with the PS4. And what it does is it just gives more of a variety to the lineup, man. And
I think they should really take advantage of. Sorry to interrupt, but I think to take advantage of that and just the fighting game scene,
yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
So
which is
yeah, man.
also multiplayer. A lot of people like to forget that.
um,
I love the tone.
yeah, man. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff, man. Probably we probably won't see this game for like another like 2 years, but I'm I'm intrigued to see what this game is going to be.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about Ghost of Tsushima, or the rumor of Ghosts of Ikishima, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, we had known leaker who is the co-founder, or I think probably the founder. I'm not exactly sure about that, of Xbox Era, come out and say that yeah, there is essentially a Ghost of Tsushima spin-off in the vein of Lost Legacy and Miles Morales in the works. They're aiming for a 2021 release date, and it is going to be yeah, it's aiming for a 2021 release date. Special Ed, by the way, is the one who revealed this. And then Catharsis T on Reddit also, or Reset Era also, you know, uh, kind of supported these rumors as well. So I mean, this is really like a trend that we're seeing with PlayStation Studios, right? With obviously Miles Morales and Lost Legacy, these kind of like stopgap titles in between the major ones. So like, okay, before we have Spider-Man in 2018, 2 years later, let's get Miles Morales, and then maybe 2 years after that, okay, now we get the full-fledged Spider-Man 2, instead of just having to wait, like 4 or 5 years in between, these sequels, or whenever these studios release their next big project. So yeah,
That's so crazy.
this definitely seems like a trend going forward. So give me your guys' thoughts. Excited for more Ghost of Tsushima, and is this sort of like a good move for Sony to do these little stopgap in between games before going into like the full sequels?
Well, can I ask first, like, what's the credibility of the leaker? I'm not familiar with this
Um,
person.
He's pretty reliable. I mean, obviously, no one's track record is like 100%, like bulletproof or whatever. But he was the one who leaked Final Fantasy VII Remake coming into PSN or PlayStation Plus before anyone knew about it. So he's
Gotcha.
he's definitely gotten some things right. And then Catharsis T, supporting his leak. That person's also a pretty reliable leaker as well. So yeah, I would,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, and in vain of this, leak, I'm really digging this kind of standalone slash spin-off slash like side story that PlayStation is doing with its games. Lost Legacy, to this day, I think it's still like one of my favorite Uncharted games. Miles Morales, that we know how fantastic that game is and how well it did. Um, Ghost of Tsushima being the game that it is, uh, they have so much history they can play around with, and it's a whole archipelago. It's not just the Tsushima Islands. It has a variety of uh, small islands around, which makes sense, historically. I believe Ikishima, I believe Iki Island, I believe it's called, or it's referred to. Um, I remember something about it being maybe like invaded by a type of pirate at some point. I think like in the 1019, the year 1019. uh, this sounds fantastic if they do it. It's a rumor, it's a leak. I don't know how truthful it'll be. This guy has what? It was the final. That's everything he's done, like the Final Fantasy remake and
No, I
everything
mean
else that you
he's
mentioned.
obviously done like way more, but yeah, but I mean,
But
like I
that's
said, like
been the most. Okay.
I mean that's the
Uh,
biggest thing that I know, but
okay.
yeah.
I mean, I love to think about it and the possibility. I won't pretend like it's gonna happen like many people do, where they see a rumor or a leak and they're already on the train of, oh, I'm playing this. Dude, you're not playing anything. No one said anything. Like no one said anything. It sounds fantastic though. I'm down for more of Ghost of X, Y, or Z. I mean, I don't know, Macho. How much you enjoyed Tsushima? Have you ever got to completing it?
I love it. I platinum it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
I want to get back to it and replay it because it's on PS5 because it's so much fun. Um,
Fantastic.
I'm kind of split on the whole, as you put it, stopgap games between like these bigger releases. Um, I like the idea because you get you get the product or the games themselves on a lot more consistent basis and what we're kind of used to at this point from the end of like the PS4's life cycle to now. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's because you're getting like little nuggets of ideas in like these stopgap games, and I'm always down for like the full experience right then and there. Uh, but regardless, Miles Morales was a ton of fun, and
Oh yeah.
it just made me more excited for Spider-Man 2. So I can't really complain there. But I think I don't know. I'm kind of like half and half on it. I think it's really cool at the same time. Just like I can wait for the full game. Regardless,
Hmm.
I'm obviously gonna be excited for Ghost of Tsushima because I loved it, and you know what? It makes God of War being what they planned for 2021 game makes a lot more sense now. Because that probably could have been just like a game in between God of War and then God of War 2, or possibly the real God of War Ragnarok. And then
Yeah.
yeah, so it makes a lot more
Okay.
sense now.
Yeah. If they're approaching it in the story narrative perspective, where it's like, oh, this makes sense to make its own thing, I'm all for it. If it's more of a, oh, here's a little
Yeah,
moose
that's what I'm
goosh.
getting at. Yeah, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
that's
I
what I was getting
I
at.
don't I don't want this to be made with the mindset of, here's this while we work on this. No, no, make it, if you're gonna do it out of like you want to tell this story. You know, that's what Miles. That's why Miles Morales in Lost Legacy felt so like great games, like complete full fleshed games, because they felt like its own self contained story in a much bigger universe, in a much bigger world.
And
But
that's why
don't
I'm not worried
you know?
about this
Yeah,
because the track record with these things have already been laid out, right? Like the sort
exactly,
of expectations have already been laid out, so I'm not really concerned with.
absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. And it's always, and I get Macho's, half and half, because in a day where so many companies they turn to a side that you don't really agree with. I don't think Sucker Punch or Sony have this kind of mindset. I'm hoping they don't. and I'm not expecting the worst, but I'm not expecting anything because honestly, unless they announce it officially or they tease it officially, I'm not, I'm not gonna say what I think because I don't think anything.
Yeah,
Like I
no,
can say what I think about the idea,
you more or less addressed like my main concerns. Like, don't do it just to do it and just to fill in
Right.
time. Do it because it
Absolutely.
makes sense. And with Spider-Man, it made complete sense. With Ghost of Tsushima, same thing. It's gonna make complete sense when they do it because of the history of that time period. But God of War, like you might as well just wait for a sequel at that point. If you're gonna try and do like a kind of like an intermission, so to speak, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and hey, if they do kind of an intermission thing, if it, now that you mentioned God of War, I don't know how viable it is, but I wouldn't mind seeing playing a little, a short 10 hour or less game of, or 20-hour game of, this is me fantasizing of a Valkyrie, of like you having the movesets of a Valkyrie and you like going from realm to realm. I
See,
don't know, maybe you
that's my thing right there. Is that like I feel like this new trend for Sony is like it opens up the possibilities. Like there this literally opens up like so many avenues, so many things
absolutely.
that they can pursue now. So like, obviously we followed, Miles. Maybe we wouldn't have done that in Spider-Man 2. Chloe Frazer and Nadine Ross, like who would have ever thought we would actually get the chance to play as, as Chloe in a Uncharted game, right?
Absolutely.
If God of War were to do this, could we, be playing as Atreus, or, if The Last of Us Part 2 did something like this in between Part 2 and Part 3, could we possibly play as, Tommy, right? Like this really does open up the door for like, okay, like let's explore some things that we didn't really get to dive too deep into from the main game, and actually touch on in a more meaningful way in these little bite-sized games. And I don't know. I think that's really really cool because like
Oh yeah.
even going back to yeah, and I guess this is kind of like my next question is that like, so we
Right.
saw Lost Legacy and we saw Miles. Both of those games have you playing as different characters from as opposed to their main games. This expansion or standalone title being called Ghosts, plural. Are you guys expecting to play as someone new?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
what Jin has done is started like a sort of revolution,
Yes.
or
Exactly.
change in
Exactly.
mindset, and that's gonna affect everything else.
Because I don't know. I might be Mandela affecting this, but I remember playing a side mission in Ghost of Tsushima where you hear about people adopting this persona of like, an assassin, or like like people don't know how certain enemies are dropping dead, and it's essentially how he's inspired this kind of a new approach towards, attacking your enemies and being this kind of a shinobi, not so much upfront samurai. Um, and it would make sense if like it spreads out and it's like, don't go there, you're gonna get messed up if you go to that main island, let's focus here. And like in that island, it's like, you're not coming here, and like some kid like grew up during the time where Jin Sakai was doing his thing, and this is like years in the future where a little force tries to invade and he's like, nope, I learned from this legend, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't know, something like that. Play around with it. It's like you said, Jay, they have so many. And this reminds me, like what Sony's doing, and the many avenues they have. I think one of the games that I came to mind that I do think made the best out of its characters was Resident Evil 7. Not a Sony focused game, but it is a game that you had DLC as one of the victims of the Baker house. There's a section where you play as Jack's brother slash Zoe's uncle, forgot his name, which you essentially fight with your fists. Like you played these different
I remember
DLCs.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like you play with different perspectives of the same story essentially. I wouldn't mind, Sony's actually like doing that on a much bigger scale. And you mentioned Last of Us. honestly, you mentioned Tommy. I also wouldn't mind like playing a bit more of like Abby's crew, because as much as they as much as that story was fleshed out, I feel like a lot of Abby's like crew, in the beginning scene where everyone's gathered, and Macho already knows what happens there. Uh,
Yep. I still
a
gotta
lot
play it
of
though. I'm
yeah,
aching to play it.
like honestly, I wouldn't mind playing as one of them. I wouldn't mind playing as their head commander. Forgot his name, but he's a psycho. There's so many possibilities. Give me all of them. Give me 100 games. Give me 100.
I do like real quick. I just want to touch on this before if
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
the
yeah.
chance to move on. I do like that we are getting to more of these bite-sized games where the quality is not in its length, but in its focus. And I love that because now I actually get to beat these games and not take like months to actually beat,
That's a
to
good point.
engage in them.
Fantastic
I
point.
love these like weekend binges I can do. Probably because like I'm so used to like heading to Blockbuster on a Friday night and then just finishing the game in the weekend.
Hell
But
yeah.
regardless though, I love like the fact that I can kind of just engross myself in these games for a weekend and then move on to the next thing, or but still reflect on how fun of a time that was.
Yeah,
Exactly. Oh
definitely.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, man. I'm pretty excited for the idea of more Tsushima, exploring a new location and possibly having new characters to go at. Like if this is like Yuna centric, I would be all over this. Like that would be really
Oh,
cool.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I would definitely dig
Ooh.
that. So yeah, man, and this again kind of points to, so like I don't know if you guys have seen the rumblings of July 8th is what people are kind of saying is when PlayStation's next big event is going to happen.
Mm.
And so like the fact that we're hearing about this, in kind of relative, kind of close to when this event is happening, kind of makes me believe that yeah, this thing is coming soon. So yeah, hopefully this thing is coming sooner rather than later, so we can actually see this. I guess there's also a part of me that it's kind of like, man, dude, like this would have been such a cool surprise. That's why I like I hate leaks, because like yeah, this would have been a really cool surprise, and the fact that it leaked, yeah, it kind of sucks. I
Oh
Like
guess
no,
this,
it blows the wind out of the sails for sure.
yeah,
yeah,
this Ghost of Ikishima thing, like, I thought about it as we spoke, because I found out as soon as you mentioned it. I wasn't on Twitter for most of the week, so I hadn't like even like read about it. Because honestly, I agree. A lot of this is why I whenever like people start speculating about a Smash character, I'm like, get me out of here. I'm not looking at it because I like to be surprised. A lot of the charm and like a lot of the enjoyment back in the day, not that I'm super old, was, not having the internet and you having to figure out stuff like getting a magazine and reading these interviews and looking at all these Easter eggs and seeing what people were saying. Oh, what's the upcoming game? What's the next? Oh, and you hear your next door neighbor. He's like, my uncle works for Naughty Dog, and they said they're making I don't freaking know. The next big thing. They're like, oh, whoa, what's the next big thing? And but now it's like, oh yeah, no. Reddit user, PlayStation fanboy 52 said that we're gonna get a sequel to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which you actually play as Rivet during her time as a toddler, and you're like, bro, what? Like, what is going on? It's absurd. I don't like Twitter. I hate Twitter, guys. I'm deleting my account.
I don't blame you to be honest, man.
It's annoying. It's
Twitter
annoying
does kind of sometimes take the fun out of these things.
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so before we move on, guys, I want to remind you to go ahead and throw us a like, subscribe to the channel, and remember, if you don't like this podcast, if you don't click on that thumbs up, then your mom's a hoe. Simple as that.
Man, he went from going messy on Twitter to going messy in his own podcast. You
Yep.
hate to see
God
it.
damn.
That's,
This
Hate to
man,
see it.
he's stumbling. He's
That's
stumbling down there.
hey man, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, man.
Losing it. It's you know what it is, man? There's not enough waifus. You're not being a connoisseur lately, man.
It's very,
That's what's
very
going
true.
on.
Yeah, that might be
it's
it.
not.
That might
Yeah,
be it.
Lady D took your D.
Oh man.
She didn't take nothing. He didn't play.
Yeah, I didn't play, man.
Oh, true. Pause. You'd be trash. Okay. Trash.
God damn. I'm being slandered on my own podcast. What the hell's going on, man? God damn. Let's talk about Dead Space really quick.
Yes.
So apparently I don't know, I didn't follow this one too closely, so you guys might have to take the lead, but apparently there's some rumblings about EA possibly reviving Dead Space.
I mean,
Could be.
the only thing I don't know much if much is like read more into it. Like the big thing I saw was that they mentioned how they're reviving a fan favorite series, and that's when everything just blew out of proportion. You know, like, everyone like started thinking, what's the biggest revival that could happen? Honestly, I would agree. It would be Dead Space. I think if somehow they went into their vault and they're like, all right, where's that piece of gold I had left around? Oh, there it is. There's the scratched Dead Space 4 pitch that I was given and I never did. And then they're like, bam. But here's the thing. When they say revival, do they mean reintroducing? Do they mean giving a fresh coat of paint? Do they mean giving a sequel? I don't know. Do they mean
No,
just
it's the business. It's the business workaround. It's give you a remastered and give you a new game.
And here's the thing, man. I would gladly buy Dead Space trilogy on my PS5. Are you kidding? Guys, I just played Dead Space like a month ago. Like, I'm all over this. I want this. Not over this as in I'm over it. I'm all over it. Like, I'm on top of it. Bro, hell yeah.
Pause.
I just noticed where I was... Oh, shit.
Oh,
I was kind of...
so God, I'm gonna laugh if this takes the form of like, you know, some kind of like live service like Dead Space or some shit like that.
Dead Space Royale.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh.
The thing is,
even-
I even really think it. I don't really think it's a Dead Space revival.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be like Skate or well, that's already coming back, right?
They did mention they're working on a new Skate.
Okay,
though,
yeah.
right?
No, it's what I think it is that people are thinking of right now is SSX.
That would be cool.
SSX, yeah, that's the one franchise that's been gone for a long time. A lot of people have been asking for it. You don't really get a lot of snowboarding games anyway, besides that one that debuted at the Xbox Game Showcase in E3.
And then Riders Republic as well. It's coming out.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna that's gonna be EA's kind of trick there. It's not Dead Space, but SSX.
I would be
Nope,
down for
it's Dead Space.
SSX.
Nope, Dead Space.
Yeah, that'll get people excited. I don't think you get people as excited as something like a Dead Space or reboot, but still, SSX is it's been long too gone.
My thing is that like okay, if like okay, let's play what if like if
Yes.
Dead Space is coming out or if they are planning a revival of Dead Space, then why shut down Visceral, right? Like this only happened a couple years ago. So like if you're entertaining the idea of Dead Space coming back, then what was the point of closing down Visceral? Like wouldn't you want to keep those guys around for the possibility of this happening, right? Like I don't
Yeah,
think
agree.
like I think it's safe to assume that this decision did not come about like yesterday, right? Like this had to have been like, I don't want to say like years, but they've probably been thinking about this for a while. So like, if it is true, they're probably like kicking themselves a little bit. Like, man, why did we get rid of the original guys who made these games?
Yeah, they're dumb. Yeah, it was a dumb decision. If that's the case, regardless of, it was a dumb decision overall. Because I believe there was a rumored fourth game, and I don't care what people say about 3. Just give me more. But honestly, y'all talk about SSX, and I'm like, I've never played snowboarding game.
Yeah.
I've never played a snowboarding game. Honestly, now I'm entertaining that idea. And
They're basically like the Tony Hawks of snowboarding. It's
Yeah.
bro,
incredibly fun.
and if it gets the remakes treatment and it looks that good, I'm down. Honestly, like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Give me snowboarding Dead Space, where Isaac is just going down the mountain.
Oh my god.
Isn't that the sequel? Because he's in like an ice planet, right? So SSX is gonna take place in that planet of ice. So there you go. I've solved it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think it is. I think it's either SSX or the long shot is definitely Dead Space.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. It's just it's so I get exhilarated when I think about the idea of Dead Space like being revived in some way, shape, or form. But SSX sounds kind of dope right about now. I do need those chill games, you know.
You lick your lips when you hear Dead Space?
Boy, I like the Necromore.
I wish I
Necromorph
clipped
lips.
that. I wish I had time to clip that. That was too funny, dude. I'm looking my lips and I'm whoa.
Hey man. Hey
This
man,
man.
hey, those games make me act different, man.
Yeah,
This
man.
man got
My
the dry
fiance
lips.
paused her game and she's like, "What did you just say?"
Oh man.
They go from crusty to moist real quick.
Oh man. That's nasty.
They're nasty.
All right. So I'm trying to see if there was anything else that happened. I mean that's pretty much it. We went through everything that we needed to go through. Um I guess we could talk a little bit about Guerrilla Games. Did you guys hear about this? Them and their second team?
I did not actually. So if
Me
you got some
neither.
deets, throw them my way.
Yeah, enlighten us.
Um You know what, Walt? I'm gonna need you to stall a little bit while I get this up.
All
Dance,
right,
monkey, dance.
y'all. Hey, listen. Speaking of monkeys, I'm fighting a monkey right now in Sekiro. These monkeys are annoying, man. You know what I mean? There's
Are
a
you at that boss
bamboos.
right now?
I'm around that area where there's like monkeys, like in the sewer part, like that bottom asset part. There's like monkey-esque enemies. You know what? I'm gonna leave this monkey area. Gonna go look for a prosthetic. I needed to look for the Mist Raven prosthetic, which is the only one I'm missing. Let us
Yeah,
hunt.
I was thinking about actually picking that up on Steam because it's on sale, but I
Dude.
I kind of made a really big purchase, so I'm not trying
Ooh,
to.
what'd you get? What'd you get?
Let's just say that let's just say that it's a nice little flat screen that costs a
Ooh.
lot of dinero.
What is it? What type of display is it?
I got an OLED.
Oh, hell yeah! That's what I got, man. I also
Yeah,
went broke.
yeah, I dropped the big ones yesterday
Yes,
because I'm
sir.
moving into my apartment in another like month or so. So I was like, well,
Ooh,
I'm gonna
wait.
pimp this thing out with the TV
Do you
that I
hear
want.
that?
So.
He's coming. He's coming. Good shit.
Yeah, so
Good
I'm
stuff.
excited for it. Yeah, I it's getting delivered soon. So
Oh, dude,
but yeah,
you're not. You're
I picked up the LG C1, which
yes,
is the latest one and 65
yes.
inches. So
You're
yeah,
not gonna want to go anywhere else after that, man.
yeah, it's a pretty penny, man. It's a pretty penny, but you know what? It's for me and the lady. So and then we're
Treat
gonna have this
yourself.
TV for a while. So I was like, you know what? This is an investment. And I just
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. The first thing I'm gonna play when it actually comes to my house. I shouldn't take it out of the box until I move, but I'm impulsive, so I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VII Remake the first thing with that.
Yes.
Why am I not
I'm so
surprised,
pumped.
man?
Hell yeah, dude!
Honestly,
I was going to play Mass Effect 2 first, but I think I kind of convinced my fiance to really like get involved with it and like sort of just follow along. And I think she'll like it. So I kind of want to say that for when we actually move in. So what's the next best game to do it with? Hell
Oh
yeah, dude! The one
man.
just got an update, 60 frames per second, baby. I'm
Oh
excited.
man. Oh man.
Eee.
Oh, I was about to say, man, that my place is looking like. Have you guys seen that picture of like it's like a dude's apartment and it's just like a single chair and just like the TV on the floor in the apartment. That's
Yeah,
Yep, that's basically mine, man.
That was me for a while. Wait, did you move?
Yeah, a while ago
Hell
though.
yeah, man.
But
Oh, good.
that's basically mine, just like Bloodborne on the TV screen. And that's it, man. That's all you need,
Oh
man.
man.
That's all you need. Some
Hey
bagel
man, TV
bites,
stands are overrated.
some bagel bites, Bloodborne on the flat screen TV, a single
This
lawn chair,
man.
and you're good, man. You got yourself a comfortable little place right there.
Honestly, yeah. Yo, not gonna lie, that was me for the longest time. That was also for like a month. When I still had my stuff that hadn't been brought in when I moved to my own apartment like 2 years ago. And bro, it was that instead of Bloodborne. What was it? It was like it was. I didn't even have my PlayStation because it was still being delivered. I think it was just Netflix, just pure Netflix, like all day, every day. I was like, well, I mean, this it's fun. Got one chair. It was like what, a beach chair, and I had my TV on the floor. But for a while, it was just me on the floor. Fucking annoying ass floor. I hate the floor, guys.
Hey man,
Hey,
I might just rewatch Castlevania with that OLED though.
Yes. Macho, you finished that. How was that finale?
Dude, what a ride
Ugh.
of emotions that was.
yeah, that was crazy.
Oh,
Everything in
did-
that final episode, the eighth, I think it was the eighth or seventh episode where things just go ham.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
When-
when they, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like I think the seventh, eighth episode when you just finally had that moment that you've been wanting for like the past two seasons,
yes.
and it
You see
happens.
those two attacks from
It
either
goes-
side.
they go
Yeah.
in, and it doesn't stop. It's so good, man.
He's just like,
Man.
I love how the one that sees those attacks, he's like, oh, he doesn't even like acknowledge. He's like, okay, yeah, let's kick their asses. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. It's so
sir.
good. It's
Oh,
so
now
good.
I want to rewatch
They
the
did
whole
such a
show.
They did such a great job wrapping everything up and
Yeah.
setting the little nuggets for the spin-off that's to come. So
Yes,
I'm excited.
sir. Richter.
Yeah, I kind of wish they went with the name Trevor. But yeah, Richter
Man,
is
you know.
just as good.
They mentioned in an interview how they wanted to avoid the Game of Thrones type deal where they reached for more than they could handle.
Good.
Yeah.
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 That's good. That's good on them for sure.
For sure, man.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree, man. They did a really good job, like that, because that's so hard to do in like any story. Is like all these characters that we've been following for multiple books or games or seasons, whatever it may be, and then actually like sticking the landing in terms of like okay, tying up those loose ends and concluding their stories or their character arcs and whatnot, and just how they did that with everybody, man, was just like they did it like masterfully, man. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with Alucard.
Yeah,
I
him
really
especially.
like. Yeah, that was what a like resolution to that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was one I did not see coming, especially after season 3. So
Dude,
Yeah,
and that show made me like hate certain characters. It made me love certain like it made me feel hard for these characters. Not gonna lie, like those. Even I feel that anguish, with the twins, like that we're talking about, but with the whole Alucard thing, I was like hurting. I was like,
yeah,
yo,
dude, that was again, that was Game of Thrones like
levels of fucked up.
penultimate episode kind of like
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
yeah.
Macho. Mahmood said that David might get on you for that TV choice.
Oh, David?
Yeah, King.
Oh, King David?
Yeah.
It's not a TCL. What are you talking about?
I was about to
Ain't no
say.
TCL.
about to say, man.
LGC1 is literally like one of the best ones on the market right now.
I was about to say, man. You getting into that TCL? Oh man.
Yeah, no.
We might.
He probably got me for a TCL. If I got like a TCL, I'd be like, yeah, I got a great deal on it. It's good. Nah, LGC1 is literally one of the best ones in the market. I did like a whole lot of research on
I
that.
was about to say
Yeah.
we might have to revoke your podcast your podcast pass if you're messing with that, man.
No, what I will say about TCL is if you're not thinking about like specs or video games, it functions as a completely like fine like living room TV if you're like not looking for anything horrible. It's not the end of the world. Because here's the thing, you're not going, if it's TCL, if there's something better, sometimes that jump, it's like $300 or $400 like of a gap to that next great one. So at that point, if you're looking for something specific, I would just save the money and wait for an OLED. Because OLED, this is the future. Right now. For now. The
Yep.
future, that's going to be 8D. We're going to be smelling like the screen. Like, you just wait. Once they acquire all these smells, we're going to be like, if you're playing Doom, it's going to be a stench.
Once they acquire all the smells.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
man.
They're gonna be like how they did that documentary in Final Fantasy 15, where they show, oh yeah, we went to different parts of the world to like record like nature noises. You're gonna be like people, oh yeah, you're playing Doom. They go to a slaughterhouse. They're just like grabbing like corpses of dead animals, yes, and like that smell. And then when you play Doom, it's just stench all over. And if you
Oh,
play
man.
Returnal, it just smells of alien. If you play Final Fantasy 7, if you're in the slumps, it'll feel like garbage. Like, it'll smell like garbage. If you're near Tifa, oh, wait
You
a
get
minute.
boob sweat.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
afraid.
man.
I was afraid of where that was going, man. The moment he said Tifa, I was quivering in my boots, man. I was scared. Oh
Yo.
Well,
man.
the thing is about this OLED TV is that like if it was just like OLED and just the image, I've been like, okay, I can wait, whatever. The thing is like this thing has like gaming features in it. It has G-Sync and FreeSync, which is like it's stuff using computer monitors to make games feel better.
Guys,
You know?
just use
So,
TV.
like-
Stop with monitors.
So yeah, so like this like has so many features in it that makes it like not only a great picture quality, but just like overall like you're getting good bang for your buck when it comes to the gaming features that comes with it. So whether you have an Xbox Series X or a PS5, like you're gonna be eating really good with that TV.
Nice.
Plus, I don't think King David has smoke for me on that one because Lord Cognito even has like I think he has a CX. So and that's the one he decided to splurge his money on, which is just as good, if not like on the same level.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's. Okay, I got
I know we
the.
kind of vers- yeah,
It's good. It's good. I got the Guerrilla Games little thing pulled up, and how this is giving me flashbacks and PTSD of Ratchet 2016, man. How am I gonna do this little dance, man? How am I gonna read this while I'm in a boss fight right now? Oh man. All right, let's see how we're gonna do
Have
this.
fun.
Oh god. Oh no. All right, I'm like dodging lasers and shit, man. Okay. How are we gonna do this?
I hear the controller.
Yeah, man, that DualSense working, man. Okay, so did I die? Okay. All right. So on reset era. All right, we got this. We're good. No, they added enemies too. God damn it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Oh man. Okay. So on reset era, Nightingale spotted some bits of information on a dev's LinkedIn profile. Man, dude, these LinkedIn profiles be giving us like so much information, man. So basically, this one of Guerrilla Games is I died. One of the game directors over at Guerrilla, Simon LaRouche. I probably pronounced that wrong, but I had to add that little flair, you know, that little French,
Yeah.
that spice in there, you know. So LaRouche joined Guerrilla in 2018. And in his profile, it said that he's currently working on an unannounced title for the studio. And the description states that he is serving as game director on the secret game. We also know that this. So, I mean, we could assume that he is like a part of that second team, but we also know that a while back, I think it was 2018, they also hired one of the directors for Rainbow Six Siege. So this is we are assuming that this is the multiplayer project that Guerrilla is working on. So Yeah, I wanted to. I mean, this really just ties back into the whole thing that we were talking about with, Sony kind of wanting to add more multiplayer into their portfolio. So, I mean, does this excite you guys for Gorilla to be working on a multiplayer project? I mean, they do have. I don't want to say like their roots are in multiplayer, but Killzone especially, right? Like they're no stranger to
Mm-hmm.
this.
I
Man.
hope, and I sincerely hope that it is that rumored Horizon Zero Dawn multiplayer project they had in mind, or seemingly had in mind. I would love for like a Monster Hunter like multiplayer game with
Ooh.
Horizon Zero Dawn. It's cool.
Yo, not gonna lie, that sounds kind of dope. Like the idea of you going out and once you harvest these, like instead of like leather, it's just mechanical parts that you're acquiring through like hunting different kinds of beasts. I kind of on board with that. That sounds kind of dope. I hadn't heard about this, and now I'm kind of all in. That
See,
sounds
I
dope.
I didn't even think about that because yeah, there's like some rumors going around about like a Horizon like VR thing. Um, and like so like originally when you were talking about this Macho, like I kind of like I was preferring them to do something different. Like obviously like SOCOM has been like thrown around, but like I want to see. I would love if they did like just like a new multiplayer IP project, right? Not necessarily tied to Killzone or Horizon, just something like different. Um, but I gotta admit that does sound pretty cool, Macho.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The thing is, Monster Hunter World took the world by no actually pun intended. I'm not a weakling.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yes, sir.
Damn. All right. Shit, man.
pun intended. Uh, yeah, it took the world by storm with just like what it did, and even for me, that was like my game of the year that year. I love Monster Hunter World. So like the game with Horizon Zero Dawn skin, that just that it completely like excites me. I really hope that's the thing, but it's not. Then it is what it is. They can. I trust Gorilla to take the liberties where they can. So,
Take
but
the
yeah,
wheel, gorilla.
yeah, but just yeah, Monster Hunter World, but Horizon Zero Dawn. Let's do it. Come on, man.
Yes,
Let's do
sir. Monster Hunter Dawn.
it. Monster
Monster
Hunter Dawn.
Jesus.
Horizon Hunter World.
I mean, they did
This is
have
what
that crossover,
what?
um,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they
which is
did.
pretty
Wait a
cool.
minute. I just stand up.
No, I'm not. I'm
Wait
not. I'm
a
not trying.
minute.
I'm not trying to make any connections, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um.
Uh,
So before we get out of here, man, I want to ask you guys a simple question: who is the queen of PlayStation right now? So we have characters like Aloy and Ellie and Abby and Nadine and Chloe. Rivet just got added to
okay.
the roster. Lady Maria, Cat from Gravity Rush, etc., etc. So like, I want you guys to take into account the entirety of the PlayStation history. You can even add in like Laura Croft, right? Because she's like pretty synonymous with PlayStation. But yeah, I want to know to you guys who is the queen of PlayStation. Like I feel like for the men that side, like it's either Nathan Drake or Kratos. It's either A or B with that. But
Why
for
I didn't hear Elena in that roster. I feel like Elena should be in that roster because she's
sure,
been
sure,
putting up with a lot of bullshit with D Nathan.
sure, go, yeah, you
Yeah.
can add her as well. Um,
Okay.
so yeah,
Okay.
man. Who do you guys think?
Hmm. Macho, do you think no, that's not no. No, that's on PC. I was gonna say like no, that's not a Sony exclusive. Who do you think the queen is out of
My fanboyness wants to say, and he's always right. Tifa.
Sure, sure,
Mm.
sure.
But
Okay.
no. If I'm
I was
talking like
gonna say
legit,
Aerith. I thought you were gonna say Aerith, because honestly, if I were to
no.
choose like from that game, I go Aerith
I
as
mean, no,
queen.
same. But like Aerith is like the humbling princess, while Tifa rules
Yeah.
with her iron fist.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so
Man, you just you
You
just you
like
just say you just saying that because you want her to beat the shit out of you, man.
True.
This man licking his lips.
You're not wrong. I cannot deny these facts that this man just came out of his mouth. But nor will I confirm it. You will not get a solid answer out of me.
Nah,
wink, wink.
don't run away from it, man. You just confirmed it, man. You just confirmed it. We all heard it, man. We all heard it.
I think the true queen of PlayStation now is Coco from Crash Bandicoot.
Oh man, what?
Wow.
We're getting furry up in here, guys.
Oh man, that's nasty, man. I didn't want to hear that on my Saturday morning, man. I didn't want to hear that.
Man.
Okay, that's your answer. No, that's your answer right there, man. You can't run away. It's
I'm
on
gonna
record.
redeem myself
It's
right
on
now. I'm
record,
gonna
man.
redeem myself.
Let the record show that Macho believes that Coco, out of everyone in PlayStation's history, is the PlayStation icon queen, man. Let the record be known.
Come on, she has a pet tiger. Who has a pet tiger?
Oh man.
As a PlayStation icon. Come on.
Man.
No,
And she
I
got
got
a
something even
MacBook,
better. I got something even better that I know Soul would completely agree with, and is low-key what I was thinking of, like, the first time when you brought the question. Makoto, Persona 5.
Really?
Ooh.
See, like, obviously I love her. Like, she's my favorite character from that cast.
Yeah.
But like,
And that's her name. That's her alias. Queen.
but I don't know if I would call her
Yeah.
like iconic. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? So
I mean,
you're saying you just date for a couple months and then you leave her?
Wow.
That's how you're saying? You're saying
Whoa.
you played her?
Whoa,
man.
whoa! Why are you twisting my words like that, man?
This man got that shit at
What's
the
going
end.
on here, man?
This man got that Valentine's disaster scene.
Nah. We were faithful. We were faithful to the one and only Tei Takemi, man. Let's not get it twisted, man. Let's not get it twisted. My goth queen right there, man.
Goth queen, yeah.
Oh, but no, okay. So like to that point, man, because like I feel like when we talk about like characters like Ellie or Aloy, right? Like they are synonymous with place. Like they are iconic, man. And
Right.
like I love Makoto, but I don't know if she reaches like that height. Like when you think of PlayStation, you think of example A, right? I don't know if I do that with Makoto.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. I'm listing off these names. So I'm really having trouble, kind of really just picking one.
Yeah, why can't it be a round
Yeah.
table of queens? Why can't it be like
I mean,
Well, as far as like one that's like iconic, like I'm having trouble. But maybe if I hear your guys' opinion,
Yeah.
like I can change.
well, you don't have one?
the thing is, I added her to the roster, and I kind of genuinely like I see her now like as potential to be my pick, Elena. But I don't think PlayStation, and I don't go like PlayStation, Elena. Honestly, it's between Ellie and Aloy. You mentioned them, and I do think like one of those two. Because here's the thing: if God of War had more of an there was an emphasis, but I don't think PlayStation. I don't think Freya.
Right.
She's God. Wow, this is hard. I think Rivet is too early. I think she needs some to take her time and settle in.
Yeah,
Staying
man.
with Celine, the one from Returnal. Honestly,
Mary Jane from Spider-Man.
Mary Jane from Spider-Man, yeah.
Black
I don't
Cat,
really think of
Black
her,
Cat
no.
from Spider-Man.
All right, buddy.
Oh man.
Oh,
All
Now
right,
you're just
buddy.
getting spicy, bro.
No,
You
but-
was
Man.
talking about me. You think
This man ain't into kicking ass. This man into leather.
Yeah,
he wants to
man.
be wrapped in leather.
Yeah.
nah,
Golly.
it's spandex, man. You gotta get it right.
And, no, man, you gotta get whipped.
Yeah, see, like, I feel like at a certain
Who do
point,
you think, Soul?
it's a complicated question, man. Because like I feel like at one point in time I would have said Lara Croft, like without a
Right?
doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, like I would have said her, but I'm definitely leaning towards Aloy, man. Because like my head says to go with Ellie because obviously she's
Yeah.
been in like a little bit more stuff. But Aloy, just because I feel like PlayStation is treating her like more like that, like I don't want to say like the female Nathan Drake, where like Nathan Drake is like everywhere, but like with Aloy, right? Like she's been in Fortnite, she's been in Monster Hunter World, she's made the jump over the PC, right? So like it feels like she's
Yeah.
definitely kind of been like that, almost like that representative in a way.
Yeah, she's been granted some sort of pass towards other realms, and when you can go towards other areas in in different platforms and still be synonymous with PlayStation, because they see Aloy and they think, oh yeah, PlayStation, like granted, tween, because that happens with God of War. When Kratos was in Fortnite, they thought, oh yeah, PlayStation. I
Yeah.
do think, yeah, Aloy, honestly, just to crown one at this moment at time, and given with Forbidden West, like highly anticipated game, Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah, going to PC and it's successful as hell, and Macho having like actually like played through, I think, Frozen Wilds. Did you finish it, Macho?
Yeah, I finished the whole game. Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah, I
the
mean,
fact that Macho has her running around in booty shorts.
yeah, man.
Listen, man, she can't
I
run
saw
around in
that
booty
picture.
shorts. She ain't got no booty. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man,
Oh
you
man.
didn't put on the booty mod for her? What's going
There's a
on?
booty mod for
Oh,
her.
Probably, man. You know
I
those
gotta
PC,
bro,
reinstall the game now.
those PC man's horny.
bro.
but
I feel
two.
like
Oh, go ahead.
people when people say PC Master Race, I think they just mean like they can mod the hell out of a game, so they make it their own. That's why they say Master Race, because
Pretty
they make
much,
it
man.
their. Yeah,
But
continue.
to that point of like Aloy or Horizon going to PC, I find it like interesting that like Horizon was the first one that kicked that off, right? Like
Right,
I feel like they easily could have gone with like Uncharted, like their biggest IP, or even like God of War, but
absolutely.
like they chose Aloy to kind of like
Represent.
kick that thing into motion, right?
Hmm.
I think it was really Death Stranding. I know that's not like a, I know that's like a, not an interim studio,
Fragile.
but like,
That's our queen. Fragile is our queen. No.
Right.
no, yeah, it's because like same engine, so like they're familiar like with what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I mean like because I guess it was more of like a surprise because we didn't know about Horizon until like
Oh
we
yeah,
we always
pretty
we
much.
always knew Death Stranding was making the jump since they announced it, right? That it was a play first on PlayStation kind of thing, or that it was like a time or console
Yeah,
exclusive or
yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see your point.
No, but yeah, I think I definitely I'm coming to terms with what you're saying too. It's like she was the one to kick it off, but like you know what? Yeah, I think Aloy is probably like the definitive PlayStation icon right now. But the thing is, I really want to say Ellie just because I have that emotional attachment to her from the
Yeah,
first game.
Honestly, yeah.
and we've spent
But
more
I
time with
haven't
her.
played the second. Yeah, I haven't played the second, so I need to get on that. And a part of me wants to say Abby too, because like
Yeah.
she's a monster,
Oh hell
and
no, man!
she's cool, man.
Yes,
I like
sir.
Abby.
Yeah, I
I
love her.
was
Yeah,
I
But
look
not as
at
a
I
queen.
obviously
I know what you
I
mean.
don't know the full scope of her story, but like just from the amount of love the community's pouring out just for her, and her on top of that her gameplay, like she's a brawler and I love it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I want to play Last
Yeah.
of Us 2 before I'm like yeah, let's Abby's definitely a PlayStation Queen.
Right. And honestly, if I were to go, very objective, I would go, yes, Aloy. Aloy makes the most sense. But honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, the more settling in, you know, uh, in terms of character, like her character, I do feel like Elena does feel more of a queen for me. Like she feels like she would fit that title very well. Like she would represent PlayStation. If there was a meeting, a UN meeting, and PlayStation is representing, I feel like Elena is like the one to be there. Because Aloy be like, I don't know how government works because I literally woke up like a few
You're
months
thinking
ago.
way too much into this one.
yeah, man.
You're thinking way too
Jesus.
much into this one.
Aloy.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I could see the case being made for Elena. I mean, God, I mean, she's been with PlayStation since what, 2007.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I mean, yeah, I could definitely see
exactly.
that.
Man, if they continue Sly Cooper, Carmelita Fox would have been the
Hey,
next
don't get me
conversation.
started on her, man. Listen,
Man,
listen.
hey,
I'm not a furry.
Man,
You know, I'm not a furry.
y'all.
I'm not J Main. I'm not J Main in
Oh,
this. But Carmelita Fox,
that's
man.
that's
And
when
y'all
you realize
wild
you
on
like
them furries.
Hispanic woman, huh? Tanja. That's when
hey,
you're like, yo,
man.
Hispanic women are dope,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Carmelita Fox.
Man,
Yeah, man.
Rivet awoke something in
Relax.
people, bro. Rivet made like people realize, you know what? I kind of get furries, but honestly, you know what made me think that it was when I watched Beastars. I was like, you know what?
All right, now you're getting too far,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Beastars
Wait
is
a
like a
minute.
whole nother. No,
Wait a
yeah. That's
minute.
no,
crazy.
we're gonna stop you right there,
Yeah,
Wolf.
man. We're gonna stop you before you dig yourself any deeper of a hole than you're already in, man. Yeah,
Not that kind of hole either, right?
yeah, oh
It's a
man.
hairy hole.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
So,
No.
so was like, yeah. Wait, what did he just say?
Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I think Soul's mind is in another place. I don't know, man. This
oh
man,
man.
you kind of sus, Joe. So, kind
Um.
of sus.
So, all right. So, uh, well, I'm surprised you didn't say Lady Maria.
Here's the thing, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you get in touch on Bloodborne.
She's on a league of her own. Okay, she's not a queen. She's a lady. She is on her tower. She already got the title. She's waiting to fuck you up. So whether she's a queen or not, you can't. Some people can't beat her. So until you can't beat her, you can't say shit. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, uh, she she feels more niche of a niche queen. She's like the underbelly queen. You know?
Yeah, and
Um,
that's kind of how I feel about Makoto, is that she's more of like a niche queen.
Exactly. There you go, boy. These are separate kingdoms, you know. They're King's Landing. That's where Aloy's at. But you know, you got I forgot the names on the top of my head. Everywhere else, that's where Makoto is. That's where Lady Maria is. That's where Tifa is. You know, and the Pugilist Temple over there with the monks. Like she's teaching them. Like yeah, we run shit here. Yeah, here's the thing, y'all. We picked three very badass people: Lady Maria, Makoto, and Tifa. These are people that can kick our asses. Like this is something about us.
Wait, what does that say about us?
We like getting our ass kicked.
I guess so, man.
Nah, we like strong women. That's what.
That's right. That's what it is,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Sure, y'all. Yeah, y'all kind of weird, man. Y'all kind of.
But man, I think this question really kind of like highlights that, like, man, dude, like PlayStation in terms of its characters have been like so diverse, man, over the years.
That's why I love him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was fun, man. We should definitely do this for the men as well at some point. Who's like the sort of like the one male character who's like synonymous, or like that would represent PlayStation, I guess.
That'd
Yeah,
be fun.
yeah, that would be
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, that's the end of the podcast, man. Thank you guys for watching. I want to remind you guys, like, throw us a like and subscribe to the channel, man. We would greatly appreciate that. Um, let's get started with these outros, man. Macho, what's going on with you this week?
Yeah, so it's just continuing Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and yeah, hopefully maybe I can finish it this weekend. I'm having a ton of fun with it, and yeah, as soon as I get that OLED in my room, man,
Yes,
down to
sir.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm excited for that.
Oof.
So, but yeah, and then the other thing, oh God, what was it? It's just at the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah. Just in case you haven't heard, the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final
God damn
Fantasy
it.
14 with an expanded free trial, which you can play through a Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 for free with no restrictions on playtime. That is two massive JRPGs with tons of fun. Come play with me. Come play with Walt. We'll have a
Yes.
great time. Just try it out, man. PS4, PS5, and PC. Hopefully other platforms soon. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm
Got
I
signing
just
it.
love
off.
how
Thanks.
Soul was very like into it. Like he was like, "Oh, what's this man about to say?" He's like, "God damn
I should have moved on, man. I should have moved on.
it."
Um,
Oh
whoa,
man.
what's going on with you, man?
Hey man, more family time. Family's gonna be here until tomorrow. Once that's done, gonna keep playing more Demon Souls.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
dying, learning. Love it, man. I'm in the FromSoft mindset right now. Hype for Elden Ring. Gotta say it, y'all. Keep a look out for that game. That game's gonna be wild. Um, Other than that, I don't know, man. I might. I got Dead Space 2 on hold because it was getting stressful, but I might hop on that again in a few days. But yeah, other than that, just like March is gonna enjoy his, I'm gonna keep enjoying my OLED. Y'all should really think about saving some money and later on getting an OLED because man, this is something else. But yeah, play more Bloodborne, play more FromSoft, play more games. Keep it and keep it nice, yo. Don't kill yourself on Twitter because everyone's killing each other. Everyone's killing like don't.
I was like, where is this going?
No, like people wild over there on the streets, man. You go to Twitter, it's like you're fucking Puerto Rico, like callejero, caserio. It's like crazy, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. As for me, man, literally Resident Evil 3 just got delivered to my door, man. So
Nice.
Whoa,
I'm
that's what's up.
yeah, I'm gonna get on that this week for sure. Got it
Let
for
me know
like
how that is. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited. Got it for like
let us
$28,
know.
so not bad.
Yeah,
Dope.
that's what it's worth. Not that it's a bad game.
Oh
It's
shit.
just
God damn.
Oh
not.
shit.
Listen, y'all, listen. I got the game. It's just the kind of game where
Jeez.
hey, I'm not discrediting the hard work that went into it, but I don't think as much hard work went into it than making a 2 remake. But
Jesus.
but
That's
Resident Evil
funny as
3,
hell.
that's 2.5. Y'all wild if that is a $60 game. That's like a $40 game at most. I got it for like 30, 25 bucks, and let me say it. I had a blast, and I'm still playing. I haven't beaten it because I was playing Resident Evil Village back then. But yeah, I enjoy it. So let us know what you think when next podcast if you get around to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have fun, Soul. Not knowing that.
Yeah, I will definitely. Knowing that, yeah, making me regret my problem. I'm like that puppet meme, the one that's like looking at the side at the camera and then looking to the side. That's what I'm doing right now.
Listen, man. Listen, so listen. This is you bought it for like a good price. Like you'll have a blast. Like you'll know why people say what they say about this game. And even back then, even back when Resident Evil 3 came out, it didn't feel like a full sequel. It did feel like a little expansion. Only that this one does feel a lot more fleshed out, and you see the quality of it. So have a blast. It's a good game. It's just the length and the way. I don't know, man. After playing 2 remake, it hit different.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so on top of that, more Chivalry 2. I'm excited to jump back into that. Probably like
Sir.
yeah, probably tonight. Hopefully, I'll get some more time into that. I only got to spend like maybe 2 or 3 hours, I think, last night with it. So, and I'm definitely hungry for more. So I'll update you guys on that next week. And besides that, in terms of writing, well, what's going on with you, man? Where you been, man? You writing?
I've been running a whole house on my own because like I moved and I've been just getting it ready for when family came to visit, but they're gonna move officially in like a month, and I'm just getting everything set because there's like 5 things broken around the house that I need to get people in there. So I've been doing that plus college, plus job hunting, plus like everything like going out. I haven't been home as much, so but I did. I I do have a list. Like I have a list where I'm like, all right, here are the ideas. All right, I'm gonna do this. Like I have a. Yeah, I'm not slacking, y'all. Trust me.
Nah, I wasn't trying to insinuate that.
This
So
rambling, I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing it.
Oh man.
listen, because myself when I'm like on the PC and I'm like doing an exam or whatever, I'm like, God damn, motherfucker, you need to write something. Like in my mind, I'm like, no, dude, you need to get on that. Like myself, this is me talking to myself, but So I know how you are. You throwing shit at me. I know how it is.
Hey, man. Hey, don't put that on me, man.
Hey, all right, Macho, your fault.
Yeah, that's right, Macho. How could you say that about him, man?
I'm sorry.
Nah, man. But y'all be on the lookout. You know, Twitter handles on below at Waltlando and Level One Gaming, and they going hard on them articles. So y'all should check us out and drop a follow on that.
Yeah, they just got a fire interview. Go check them out. Man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
man. They went and interviewed one of the voice actors from
I think the
Redfall.
main voice actor. Yeah,
The
I
main
think he's
voice
the main
actor
one.
from Redfall, the upcoming, what is it, exclusive to Xbox, right?
Yeah. So hey,
yeah, go
hey,
ahead.
girl, if you wanna slide through the DualSense and Shock podcast, man. Hey, man, we be
Yeah,
open.
yo, she seems mad cool.
Even though we had slander for the game, man, come through.
Hey, man, don't put me into this. I didn't do shit. I didn't say shit. I didn't.
Nah, man, you guilty by association, man.
Exactly.
Shit.
That's how it works, man.
That's how we roll here.
Yes,
You
sir.
ride or die.
Yes, sir. Guys, once again, thank you guys for watching. If you were here live or coming through after the fact, we really appreciate it. What the hell's going on, man? What's up?
I'm doing a mission in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and then I'm on the ledge of the water, just hanging so this guy doesn't see me, and then the guy falls into the water, and I lose the mission. Not long after, pushing another woman into the river.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Oh my god.
That kind of reminds me, back when I was playing Hitman, that I was in the Chong Queen level, and I was walking on this bridge, and there's this lady just like kind of like leaning over the railing, like her forearms on top of the railing. I just walked behind her, and just like grabbed her by the ankles and just tipped her over the railing.
Oh my god. It's a definition of I know what you did last summer kind of kills.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Man, I miss that game. Yeah. Okay. Once again, god damn it, I gotta do this all over again. Comment, subscribe, guys, to the podcast, man. We would greatly appreciate that. All that stuff. Remember, like the podcast, or what happens, Macho, if you don't like the podcast?
I don't know what happens if you don't like the contest. You can dislike it. You can dislike it.
Nah, we take your kneecaps if you ain't like this podcast, man. Simple as that, man. We taking them.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming through. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.